In this lesson, we're going to cover basic anti-airs. If you're curious as to why we need to focus on this in particular, there is a good reason. Anti-airs deny your opponent a means of attack. If they do jump into or within a range that your anti-air can hit, you can deny them a large area of space while dealing damage to them. So let's work through it. Unlike Ryu, we don't have a one-size-fits-all solution like a shoryuken, which can anti-air anything and everything whenever it wants. But we still have excellent anti-air options available to us as Juri using some of her normals. The first two we'll briefly mention are Stand Fierce Punch and Stand Medium Punch. While both have their place in the larger scheme of things, they are extremely situational and aren't very reliable. If they aren't executed nearly perfectly, the attack will trade in the best case, or leave you wide open from the jump-in you were trying to deny. The next three are the ones we'll focus on. For our extreme close-range anti-air, we'll rely on Crouch Fierce Punch. This is an extremely effective anti-air in the range where an opponent is going to land right next to you on either side. The downside of this particular maneuver is that it is a tad slow, but it makes up for that flaw by giving you 100 damage and by lowering your hitbox while performing this, making this a fairly safe option. For close to mid-range, we'll lean on Crouch Medium Punch. This is the anti-air we'll use most of the time, and is exceedingly reliable. It comes out quickly, does 70 damage, and even has a hurt box that lingers for as long as that medium punch is out there, meaning anti-airs with it have a higher chance of success. For long range, and by that I mean nearly full screen, our best anti-air is Standing Medium Kick. This hits extremely far out, comes out very quickly, does 70 damage, and can give you control of the air even if you are almost full screen distance from your opponent. Now that we've talked about when each is best, let's see some examples. As we can see here, even at extreme range, Ryu can't even jump towards us without getting hit. Move a little closer, and we start using Crouch Medium Punch, and Ryu still has yet to hit us. Even closer, and now we start using Crouch Fierce Punch, and Ryu still has yet to hit us with his jump and attack. For our final example, let's set Ryu to Tatsu towards us. How do you handle this? Don't you have to block or get hit? Not at all. Notice that if we're crouching, his Tatsu flies right over us. But that doesn't mean we have to settle for merely avoiding the damage. Thanks to Tatsu being airborne and missing us while we crouch, we can anti-air him as well. And finally, if we time it right when his Tatsu is about to finish and land on the ground, we can actually get a basic punish. Armed with the knowledge of what anti-airs work in what ranges, it's time to practice. But how do you practice? This is a two-step process. First, set Ryu to jump in at you with an attack or perform some other airborne attack that misses when you crouch, and then practice anti-airing those. It's important that you practice the anti-airs at all ranges to the point where you can do these pretty easily. Once you have that down, you need to take it to online. Now initially, when you start trying to use these online, it'll be hard because of the stress the fight will put on you, but you need to make every effort to anti-air everything you can. Over what should be a relatively short amount of time, you eventually won't even be thinking about it, and the anti-airs will almost seem to happen on their own. So, let's get to it. Good luck out there.